Okay, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's November 17th. Markets are currently off to a small but red start. NASDAQ down right now by 0.15%, so not really meaningful change, but we do have a ton of options expiring. So, probably going to get a bunch of chop, usually like we do on Opex, but also after Opex, you usually get a huge move and pivot to the other side. So, if you look at the past OPEX, there was a continuation move. The one before that, you had a pivot from 15,625 down to about 15,670. A few weeks later, let me actually pull up QQQ. It's easier to read. Smaller numbers. But yeah, usually you get a pretty decent pivot around our OPEX after it for the following week. So we'll see how this shakes up. But we are coming into holiday season. There might be less trading. Good morning, Mark. Welcome. Looks like I'm having the same issue I was yesterday where my stream is just very slow. Not sure why that is recently. All right, starting off, Q's at 385 and sinking right now. First thing on the jump, I have two options I'm looking for this morning. On Amazon, 160 calls expiring for 12/22 this year. Yeah, 12/22, and then Meta 295 puts to go with those. So taking both sides of the trade. Looks like Meta's already sinking pretty well, but could still be worth snacking up. Meta's trading at 330. So expensive for these. Delta is 10, so if we wait to hit like 332, they would drop about $10. I guess it's not that big of a deal. So with Meta, my assumption is that it's going to come down to between, well, if I can read this, would be nice. 295 and 275 by the expiration here. So 295, we'll put it at 0. 275 would put these at 20. So I'll pay the 175. They're asking for it. Maybe a little bit lower if I can. Yep, 173 on the fill. And then also want to pick up that Amazon trade. Wait. Yeah, there we go. Amazon trading at 143, right where I wanted it. These are trading at 45 each. Spending. Just got an alert on that Meta getting filled. All right. So these are going for basically 50 each. So we'll buy 4 at 48. Maybe at 45. Yep. Another alert on that fill. It looks like you got 3. Alright. We should be back with decent quality. I'd notched us down to 720. And it looks like it's running a lot smoother now. I'm seeing excellent connection. Doesn't look like it's including my face. That's okay. But yeah. Market's still off to red start right now. Q's down by a little bit more than 0.25%. Meta down to 332.65%. Not really seeing much appreciation on those Meta 295 puts. Let's see what price we snagged the puts at. Well, usually I get a text message saying what price I bought them. Did not this morning. 143 for Amazon, and then 330.83. So bought it about $1 lower than it's trading for right now. Good morning, Peter. Welcome. But yeah, we bought 4 of the Amazons at 45, and then 1 Meta at 173. The spreads on Meta is still kind of wide. Good morning, Brad. Welcome. Hopefully we get some appreciation for these Take-Two trades. Take-Two taking the dip right now. Hoping for that gap fill to 152. That should jack the prices on these up to 170 a piece. And we got them at 160. Might end up switching back to the calls at 157.5 for next week, though. Roll these over to even out our delta. Let's check out our. We do have a Q's 378 put as well for not next Monday, but the Monday after its expiration, assuming this gap fill. It's probably not going to happen today, but we have it till the Monday after next expiration, so plenty of time here. Amazon's still holding on to the green. Basically break even right now. Hopefully we get Meta dropping with the rest of this. Tesla's still down. This is the second or third day in a row to 228. This one I saw a setup on the weekly chart, if I remember. No. There's somewhat of a setup. Consolidation. Small candles. Maybe it was the monthly. Yeah. It's kind of just making a weird flag pattern here. Where did I see this setup? It must have been on the daily if it's not on any of these. Yeah. I saw these three candles and then that gap fill, which it already is done to almost done to 225. ACB. Well, yesterday you had old Snoop Dogg saying that he is retiring the smoke, so that's what ended up sending it down yesterday. Yeah, currently in 4 or 5 trades. Let's see, ACB to $1. That's a pretty big expectation, I would say. Unless you get some sort of news on safe banking, which going into election year you might, but you're expecting 100% pop. There would have to be some kind of catalyst. Earnings has already passed. GOP, Ramaswamy, veterans plan includes marijuana and psychedelics access to treat PTSD. Yeah, I would wait on some sort of catalyst for that. Wait till after the catalyst, which you're going to be paying an arm and a leg for the option at that point, but it's better than just guessing as to when the next headline for safe banking is going to be. Nvidia's got earnings next week, so I wouldn't want to trade it because the premiums are really freaking expensive. I was looking at 5-month expiration put option for it, but even that is like $700, and it's super far out of the money. Choosing the 350 strike price, so way far. Damn, there's still a gap here from the big earnings that they had at 315. But yeah, they were wanting like $750 for that. If it does end up filling the gap, I mean, that's a $20 or $22 contract, but it's what, a 3x return. Not usually the kind of trade that I would like if you're getting this kind of consolidation that I'm seeing on the monthly chart. Which, not really consolidation, it's a huge consolidation range. Intel, let's see, in INTC. AMD did really well yesterday too, I think. Jesus Christ, Intel's making a comeback this month. Huge green candle. Yeah, huge squeeze yesterday. I mean, Intel has been really kind of put to the wayside in terms of other semiconductor names. So they're finally getting a little bit of appreciation, but I mean, it's not down that much, 1.6% versus the huge pump yesterday. I wouldn't assume that it would come all the way back, but maybe down to 42, giving half that candle away by the end of the day. And that's if we continue this red market we're getting right now. Looks like Amazon's going up still, 143.50. My Amazon 160 calls are up a little bit, $3 each. Let's check out AMD. See if we have any. Ooh. Okay, AMD on the daily chart's looking pretty tasty here. I'm liking this setup. There's a resistance at 120. Right now it's trading at the top of this range, so I would want to go short. Let's see, maybe 2 ATR, so a $7 difference would be 112. And a 2-week expiration. It's trading for about $1 each. So you're not getting much. You're not getting it very cheap, but there's definitely a setup here with AMD in the next couple of weeks. And 112 is pretty far off. That would be basically all of the second half of this rally that it's seen. But yeah, this is looking a really good setup here. And I would also want a long position if we get down to, say, 117 or so as well, just to cover all bases. And the 113 call it, or 113 put isn't that much more expensive, so we might as well just go with that, honestly. It's going for 112 versus 92 cents. So I feel like it's worth paying that a little bit extra. They're trading for 115. Looks like Amazon's still pumping. 143.70 now. All right. I'll pay 110 on these. Let's see if we get filled. Yep. And our assumption is $7 drop, 119.75. $7 is 112.75. Oh, we might have overpaid. Minus 10.5. So down to 109.25 would be the lowest. I would hang on to these. 109.25. To 112.75. Or like 113, honestly. Since it is close to that 120 mark, I would imagine that would be your resistance. And catalyst for this is going to be NVIDIA earnings next week. So that's probably why you're getting these higher prices. You're paying $1.05 or is it not showing my full screen? It's not, is it? It's weird. Okay. Sorry about that. Should be full screen now. Yeah, AMD trading at 120 again. So probably could have waited a little bit longer. Got these at 105 instead of the 110 we paid, but Just a smidge discount. SPY growth, SPY G. Yeah, just barely. Really good setup here too. It looks basically just like QQQ. You had that huge gap up, and then you got this consolidation, so could end up flopping back down to fill in that gap. Could also just keep on running with those new highs, new yearly highs, I should say, at 388. Kind of thinking about hedging that position I have with the put. Let's see. I think I just have one, if I remember right. Yeah, 77. Two of them with a 17 delta, so we want about a 30 delta. Assuming that it's going to hit 388. It's a $3 move to the upside. Probably say you could give it next week's Friday expiration, depending on how cheap they are. 388 going for 173, which is expensive, more expensive than the put that I bought. Delta is 37, so that's a bit too high too. If we go with say Wednesday's expiration instead, which would be November 20th, should lower our delta. Yeah, 28 delta on that, trading at 70 cents. Amazon's still pumping to 144 right now. Yesterday they announced that they're going to be going into the car selling business. I wonder how Carvana is trading after that announcement. I know they sunk a shit ton yesterday, but yeah, they're still coming down. There could be a gap fill down to 29.70 as well. Seems pretty promising. And then there's a gap fill all the way down to 26.50 too. That's a big move. I would expect some sort of other catalyst would need to happen to get them $5 lower. They have a $3 ATR. They move like crazy. Damn. It's like, what, 10% a day? Yeah, Amazon's popping off. Those contracts we got at 45 are going for 52, 55 now, so. But we got a longer term time frame on that trade. Again, I'm looking at the weekly chart here, so I'm going to give this probably 2 weeks. Hopefully it clears those highs solidly at 146, 147. Looks like Take Two isn't doing anything either. That one's just flat. 144 to 155, or 154 to 155 today. Got rejected close to the top. So hopefully we can close down to 152, but don't have much hope for those. I will set a limit order just in case it does. Oh wait, no, that's not right. I'll set a limit order for the calls just in case it does pop off, but my guess probably not. The low on today was 153.50, so maybe you could see it to 158, 158.50. So we'll place a limit order to sell these, say at like 40 cents. I don't think that it's going to get filled, but might as well just have it in place in case there is some sort of catalyst to send it up. AT&T is making you dizzy. I haven't seen AT&T recently. Nice little cup and handle formation. Possibly seeing this up to 16. I mean, it's already trading at 15.90, so it's not a huge move expected, but these candles are so small, though, last couple of days. Open and close yesterday was identical. It's looking like the same today, but we still have plenty of hours. Tesla might be recovering. Yeah, it was down like 2.5 earlier. Now it's only down 1.3. Came very close to filling in the gap here. Still hasn't finished this one. Down to 225 though. Really wish I had taken that one this morning. That was something I was looking for, but did not take it. Amazon at 144 now. This call is trading at 54. It's a nice little $20 gain so far. But that's being taken away by these 295 meta puts. Meta trading at 333, or close to 333. But yeah, my assumption here is we get a fake out, maybe up to 338, and then come back down. Right now we're sitting just above the previous range at 326 and 330. What's the plan for QQQ 378 put? So I'm thinking about hedging it with a 388 call. They're going for about the same price. We have a negative 20 delta, so we'll probably hedge the delta down to 0. But I would probably want to get this, I guess 385 is a decent price on it. 384.75. Maybe you could get it at 384. But if you get it at 384, I'd want a couple more days till expiration. Still holding it for now, though. Let's see what those 388 calls were going for before at the today's low. Wednesday's expiration. Maybe we set it to Thursday instead. We're trading just under 385 now. Actually, we have a cumulative negative 36 delta. So we want positive 36 delta. Which the 388 for Thursday is giving us 32. Negative 1,000 delta. Jesus. Yeah, right now my delta is mostly negative. Overall, that is, besides Amazon. Negative delta on AMD, Hughes, Take-Two. Actually, well, Take-Two was delta neutral yesterday, but did not hold that. All right, Thursday 388 call right now is trading. Actually, I think this is Wednesday. Hold on. 4 days till expiration. That's Tuesday's expiration. Okay, well, that's not what I needed. It's Thanksgiving week, so a little bit complicated. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday is Thanksgiving, so that will not be trading. They want $160 for a 36 delta 388 call next week. I feel like that's pretty expensive. If we go with Friday's expiration, delta neutral would put us at 389. That's too far out of the money. But it is probably trading for lower. 389 next Friday is 160, so it's not that much of a discount. I don't know why these are so expensive. But we're delta neutral and it's about the same price. Yeah, the 378 puts are going for 78. We have two. And then the 388 calls are going for 160. We'll only get one. I mean, you're not going to get the sales data for Black Friday until fourth quarter earnings, so I wouldn't bet on that. It will be interesting if Black Friday ends up in the market actually tanking, like everybody's been calling for Black Monday for God knows how long at this point. If that coincides with each other. But that would just be a huge coincidence. Amazon's still trading up 1% now. Kind of just holding the market. Alright, this 388 call went as low as 145 this morning. We're just hanging on to that 385 level for now, and I think that could be today's pin. I don't know. where the open interest lands. Let's go to maximumpain.com. Is it options QQQ? Yeah. So 11/17 expiration. Maximum pain is 369, so that's a lot lower than we're trading right now. So the likelihood of that actually playing out is pretty low. It always could happen, but that would be a 6-point drop or about 2%. And usually if you're going to get that big of a move, you need that to start early in the morning. All right, here we go, trading at 385 again. These are trading for 160. Again, I just want to buy one. Getting a decent drawdown on Qs right now. 384.75. These are down to 150. Very cheap now. If I can get them at 140, that'd be great, but I don't know if we'll be able to get it that low. These 15-minute candles are huge, though. All right, I'm willing to buy it at 147, 145. And right back up after that. Okay. They really want me to pay 150 for them. All right, it's not that much of a discount. I'm not going to fret over a few dollars. I don't want to pay 155 though. So 145 fill. Perfect. That's what I wanted in the first place. And these were trading at 170 before this drop here. 180 at the peak. It's probably going to be pretty weak demand here, so my assumption is going to crack through this 384.50. Google's the worst, down 1.5 now, beating Tesla. Yep, there we go, cracking through that 384.50 level. Take two might be dropping. No, take two still holding. No movement in either direction here. But yeah, that's probably all the trades I'll put on today. We got AMD shorts, Amazon long for 5-week expiration, Meta short for 5-week expiration, Qs both sides, and then take two both sides. Maybe we can sell out of this Q call quickly. It's already trading up $5. So we got a fake out below. Now back over 385 again. So we are delta neutral now, but I do want to set some price targets as to where we want to cut. Today, probably at 3. Well, this is the weekly chart. So let's go with the daily. Maybe closer to 386. 387 possibly. Let's see what these options would go for at that price. Long call QQQ, expiration 22nd. Assuming it hits 386, would put these to, hold on, that's not right, 388 strike price. That would put these to 190. 387 will put them at 233. all the big tech names are red, but they are less red than where we started. Like Tesla, for example, was down to 225 or 226, and now it's only down 1%. So my assumption today is that we're going to be flat. Usually that's what happens on Opex or options expiration date. You usually just get a dead flat market. But yeah, pre-market highs was at 386.50. So I don't know if I would want to ride it all the way up there. But yesterday's close at 386. I think it's reasonable to assume by the end of the day. And that would be just a smidge higher than where we started. Well, I guess 15 minutes before the start. Amazon's still chugging along to the upside. Here we go back to 385.50. So back in this 15-minute candle range of about $1. These options are trading for 170 a piece now. I want to let them go for about 200, but we'll see if that's possible. Got 3 names in the green now. Nvidia, Netflix, Amazon. Amazon's still just pumping like crazy. Thinkorswim, it was originally by TD Ameritrade, but they have switched over to Schwab. Well, for some people. For myself, this is Schwab. Other people still waiting on that transfer. And I thought him and his girlfriend broke up. Fiance, whatever they were. That's what I heard. Word on the streets. Damn it. Yeah, that 386.50 level. Again, my assumption we're just going to chop. And right now that 385.50 level for QQQ is resistance. These were going for 170. Now they're down to 155. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they broke up. I might be wrong on that. No, maybe not. Yeah, the only thing I'm seeing is his Mackenzie Scott divorce. back up to 385.50 again here for Qs. Very annoying price action, which is very typical of QQQ lately, and especially on options expiration. Previous high came in at 385.62. But yeah, these bars are just basically the same size each. Checking out the 5-minute candles. You get a double bottom maybe, but you also have a double top potentially. So any long trades that are expiring today are probably going to be crushed, would be my assumption. Pete isn't happy with QQQ, yeah. QQQ is extremely frustrating on options expiration. I wouldn't want to trade it. At least for 0-day expirations. But next week and the week after, you are going to get that. Well, probably the week after, since next week is Thanksgiving and traders going to be off for holiday. But you should get a decent size pivot from there. It's usually after Opex, you get a huge move. T and BTI. Yeah. No, I'm just using QQQ. TQs, I mean, it's just going to be the same price action, just triple. Right now it's down 0.6%. NASDAQ itself, QQQ, is down 0.2%. So you're just getting a bunch of back and forth. Even Amazon's topping out here at 144 and change, 144.50. So if this starts pulling back and giving some, that could actually change the market to the downside. But since it is a leader and the only stock that's green this morning so far, the rest of the names are not too far behind. I mean, Apple's down by about a quarter. Nvidia's down by about a quarter. I'm just glad I got those Qs at a decent discount. I didn't get them at the lowest price, but I did get them somewhat cheap. Lowest price was $137. I got them at $145, so not too bad. But yeah, I just don't like this setup for 0 days. You got a double bottom and a double top. So there's really no clear direction. You do have a bounce at the 9 moving average on the 5-minute chart, for what that's worth. And it is approaching the 21 moving average. But again, this has just been chopped this morning for the first hour of trading. Take twos finally. Trying to take off. Trying to close in on those 155.5 highs. Still a bit too far off them, but why is my limit order all the way up there? I know damn well it shouldn't be way up there. This only is for 40 apiece. That should be 157.90, but it's putting it all the way up at 160. Weird. Very, very weird. Amazon's closing in on 144.5 again. So yeah, just expect a lot more of the same. Back and forth action, unless you can have these names deep in the red. Google, Microsoft is down 1.2%, so that's going to weigh on the Qs. But Microsoft has been rallying like a bat out of hell lately, so it makes sense for it to give some of it back. It's a huge drop, though. 377 to 371. I wish I bought a couple of these 388 calls so I could maybe trim instead of total cut, but it'd be a lot easier to manage than it is right now. Ooh, those Amazon 160 calls are all the way up to 160 cents a piece already. That's crazy. 15 over 45, so that means we've already made 30% in a single day for a 5-week expiration. That's crazy. Just waiting on something to happen with QQQ, but it doesn't seem promising one bit. My guess, once you see this crossover for the 9 and the 21, it's just going to go back the other way. You're not going to get any definitive price action like yesterday. I would assume would be similar to today's. And I don't think you have any news to move the markets. You might have some Fed speakers, but yeah, you had a couple Fed speakers at 10. You do have GDP now. That could actually have some impact on the market at 11:30. But the rest of it is non-news. So wait till about 11:30. Then you might get some price action, but right now, I don't think it's worth trading. At least the indices. AMD seems to be giving some back. Ooh, wow. Yeah, so they peaked a little bit over 120, 120.4, pulled back to 119.4. We still overpaid for those puts, but let's see, 112. No, we bought the 113s, actually. Right? Yeah, we bought the 113s at 110. Actually, we're up on those. That's nice. And the 112s are going for 90. There's always the option to turn that into a spread. Tech is ARG. Yeah, exactly. At least Amazon's running, which happy about that, but on the opposite end of that, Meta's running with it at 333. Dropping a little bit on this 5 minute. Not too shabby. Q's back to 385 again. So yeah, just expect it to trade, I don't know, like 50 cents higher, 50 cents lower until that 11:30 news on GDP Now. Let me switch this to the 113 so we actually have the one that we bought. I do kind of wish we waited to 315 on Meta for those puts. They're trading for $1.50 instead of the 173 we paid. Got a bit too excited on the entry. Let me guess, Q's back to 385.50 again. Yep. Well, now it's consolidating between 385 and 385.50. But not very strong. $2 trillion options expiration. Ooh, yeah, oil was sinking yesterday a ton. And I guess we got more of that. No, it's actually up 2.7. It's almost made back losses from yesterday. 76 down to 72 and now back to 75. Oil is so crazy lately. Let's see the other commodities and hard metals, GLD. Gold sitting at one. GLD sitting at 184. Let's check out the dollar. Oil's at 80. Yeah, 75 right now, but yeah. That $80 a barrel seems to be where it wants to stick around. Dollar index tanking this morning. I don't think there's any news for the dollar to send it down. Maybe you could see. So with a dollar, for some reason, you just get these tiny candle bodies almost every single time. So I wonder if we can take a gold long for the end of the day. It's up 0.1% right now. Maybe you could see it to 184 and change. Never tried at 0 days on GLD before. But let's see. They're trading for $20 each, so there's not that much margin between what they could trade for. a better purchase. Closer to 183.70. Maybe we could go with like a 2-week expiration, December 1st. I don't really see much consolidation. Usually I look for consolidation plays and then hoping for volatility expansion, but this doesn't look like that kind of trade. You're just getting these huge gaps. Google's down almost 2% today. It's pretty decent. See, this one's a consolidation play. Sitting right above previous range. Oh, that's Microsoft I'm looking at. Silly me. But that was a good setup. Google, on the other hand, this one's been rallying pretty hard. It has been kind of left behind after earnings. It's sunk a ton. No consolidation play here. Microsoft, though, could be half decent. I would just want to get it at like 370 or 369.5. So at least you get a bit of a discount because the premiums are really jacked up from this big rally. 550, maybe we could assume $10 move in a 5-week time span to 380. Depending on the price, obviously. Don't want to pay too much on it. Ooh, yeah, those are $600 a piece. No, thank you. Y'all are asking way too much for those. Good morning. Welcome. We're just sitting here waiting on QQQ to do something, but it ain't doing anything so far. Did Tesla come back up to previous levels? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. 233, assuming down to 225. That's about a $8 drop. Maybe a 2-week expiration. I am betting on a lot of gap fills though, so I feel like adding to that might not be the best idea. But let's see what price it is. They're asking for 500. Yeah, no thanks. 7-day expiration 225 is going at 300. Damn. I've got these premiums really jacked up. Yeah, looks like Amazon's sticky at 144 to 144 and a half. Those contracts getting knocked back down to 53 from 60 earlier. And QQQ, like I said, sticking to 385 until you get that 11:30 report. Yeah, so I've been using more swing trading lately. The gains have been a lot more significant on them. It's a little bit easier for me to manage too. Recently started working at a local private equity firm, so it gives me a little bit more time to figure out these trades instead of having to eyeball them every morning. That 144.50 level. So the reason why it looks like it's stalling there is this low at 144.68 gap right there, and the high coincidentally or not coming in at 144.64. Yeah, 11:30 is when the market should start moving, if the report has any significance. But right now, you're just going to keep trading flat for probably the next 45 minutes. So what I would probably do, if you want to trade the 0 days, I wouldn't want to trade the 0 days today. Just because, again, you have Opex and it's typically flat. But if you're looking for 0 days, take the trade right before the 11:30 report. And I would assume maybe $1.50 or $2 in either direction. So either a 387 call or a 383 put, based on it trading at 385 right now. Or you could do a strangle as well. Buy both of them, depending on what they're trading for. Today's expiration, 0 day. 387 is going. Jesus, why is this so laggy? At 15 cents a piece. 383 put going for 20 cents. So there's not much difference between the two of them. Yeah, 387 call and a 383 put. They're going for 30 cents a piece, so you would need 30 cents total, I guess, 35 cents. So you would need either QQQ to go below 382.65 or 387.35. All right, looks like Nvidia is coming down, so that should help us with AMD. And that put we have there. We're back down to 384.60, which was the previous low, or close to the previous low this morning. At 384.40, 384.35. Really looks like it wants to come down. The momentum is downward, but it just doesn't want to crack. Market makers don't want to pay anybody out today. But yeah, that 387 call probably already just jumped. No, not really. Still trading at 16, so not much higher. bottomed out at 12. Might snag like 5 of these. And still got, what, 40 minutes till the report's out. Yeah, Apple had a pretty big day. AA, not AAA. AAPL. 187 to 180. 190. I really thought it would be above 190 today, but I didn't end up holding that call overnight. What's the delta on these 387s? I'd imagine really low. No, it's actually higher than I thought. 17. So that could be a potential play. I wouldn't want to spend more than $15 a piece on them. Right now they're trading at a 15 bid, 16 ask. And then if you go on the 383 puts, those are trading. Oh, let's pull up QQQ, not Apple. Those are trading at 20. Closing in on this low again. 384.75. These are trading at 14 now. You're betting against momentum right now, but the momentum really isn't all that. Let's buy 3 at 14. They just jacked them up to 15. Come on now. Literally as soon as I place my order. Gotta love that about 0 days. $12,000. I mean, depending on their account size, yeah. If you've got like $1 million account, then $1,000 is only 1%. Now, if they're posting that on a daily, or no, sorry, $1,000. Yeah, it's 1%. If they're posting 12, let's see, 12 over, that'd be 1.2%. Yeah, I think that'd be realistic, but if they're posting that on the daily, then probably not. Especially in today's market with this back and forth action. Too damn hard to take advantage of any significant moves. Unless you were part of the rally the last few weeks, which that would be swing traders. I held on to some Microsoft calls during that period and sold them a tad early. I think like 2 days before it peaked at 375. Still made a decent bit. But I think if you're capital constrained using a small account, swing trading is usually better, and then sprinkling in some day trades here and there can help boost it. Looks like those 0 days went from 12 or 14 to 21. Really missed that one. But yeah, what I usually look for is either consolidation on the monthly, daily, or weekly ranges, and then I'll take a trade according. Usually with 5 times the aggregate. So if I'm looking at the monthly, there's consolidation on the monthly, I'll go with a 5-month expiration. If it's on the daily, actually with the daily, usually I'll use like a 2 or 3 week expiration, because if you're doing weeklies, you just get way too much time decay. And then the weekly expirations, I usually go 5 weeks out, like with Amazon and Meta this morning. 2 good examples. All right, Qs, retesting 380, 550 for the billionth time this morning. Again, you still got 30 minutes till the report, so I don't think it's promising. Let's see what the 383 puts are going at. Maybe we could snag those since we're trading at the top of the range again. I swear I'm too fucking slow. 383 put for today. Trading for 14 cents. Just what the calls were going for earlier. Alright. I'll pick up 3. So just a small lotto play for $40. And if the same thing happens like we just got, these would go for 20 cents again. Let's see. They ended up peaking at 26. Yeah, I mean, if you're following the trend on the stock, 45-day expirations can work. What is that? 45 divided by 7 is almost 7 weeks. Yeah, I usually go for about 5-week expirations. So 35-day expirations. But yeah, 45 is decent. I like to focus on 21 to 45 days and out of the money. The time decay on them is linear if you're going out of the money. If you're at the money, though, then you will get major time decay. No problem. I guess we're probably going to go back to that 385 mark again. So far, that's been our magnet. I don't think these puts will gain much value, but yeah, they just keep going between 12 and 14 cents. The 15-minute is looking more and more bearish on the moving averages, getting further apart. But I still wouldn't count on any move until 11:30 at least. Amazon back over 144.5 again. Tesla's actually green today. Wow, 1.75%, not too bad. Yeah, you might get a pre-run into the 11:30 report. If you do, my assumption, I am biased, but it might be to the downside based on what we're seeing between the 9 and 21 moving average on the 15. The 5-minute, I would assume, is just going back and forth, though. Yeah, 5-minute. You're actually getting a crossover right now based on this flat action. All right, back down to 385. Surprise, surprise. These contracts are going for 15 now, so small $6 gain. All right, 384.90 now. So you're getting a little bit of a move here. But I don't think we're going to cross 384.75. So I will exit close to that mark. Or we could actually just go with calls and hedge our position. Again, we were looking at the 387 calls from earlier. Looks like we just breached that 384.75 mark. 385 calls are going for 12 now. So about the same price we just got these for. Yeah, again, I'm thinking sideways until the report is out. These are going for 20, so might as well just exit for 50% profit. Crossing below. All right, give me that. 24 and 23 fill. Again, just tagging that low and coming right back up. It could continue. We have the 378 puts to take advantage of that if it does. But that was a quick little in and out in the consolidation range. I really hope we can bring meta down because that's just weighing on me. Oh, wow. Just under 384.50. Now those puts going for 26, so that would have been 100% gain. Finally cracking that low. So now our 378 puts should start juicing up a bit. Just went under the previous low. Got bought up a little bit. If we go back above 384, 60 or 75, it's probably just a fake out. Let's see, those 152.5 take two puts, doing decent. Take two's got some range to it, which I like. Versus QEQ, just trading back and forth. But yeah, it looks like that'll be all the trades for today. At 370. Where was it? Not 378. We had the 1117, 387, 383 put. The call is going for 10 cents now. For 387. So we assume a fake out. Down here at the lows. Those are pretty cheap. Yeah, that's kind of looking like what's going on here. Fake out right under 384.35 and back her up. I wouldn't pay more than 10 cents though. Right now they're asking for 11. And when I was trading at 385, these were going for about 18. So you'd be getting about a $15, $16 profit on a $20 purchase. Yeah, 1.34% is really good. Let's see. Yeah, these are already trading for 12. Ugh. Just another fake out. Typical Friday options expiration action. Almost back up to 385 already. Trading for 13. So they're not trading for the 16 that I was hoping for anyway. But it does kind of suck we missed that fake out. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, if it comes in line with expectations, then you're just going to keep doing this all day, which would not be fun. Meta is under 333, so that's a positive for us. Damn, that ATR is really climbing. 80 cents almost for 15 minutes. Each of these candles is almost identical in size. Looks almost algorithmic. These 387 calls are going for 13 apiece. Tesla's still in the green at 235 right now. Interesting reversal there. Back to pre-market highs for the moment. Yeah, those 387 calls just went back to 15. Q's back to 385 again. So just expect this back and forth action till 11:30 and then maybe get a move after. A big if the report comes out and is significantly different than expectations. I think expectations is pretty low. Yeah, 2.2%. And the last GDP reading we got was actually pretty high. I think it was like 4% or something crazy. So, I mean, if you do actually get that significantly higher reading, what the reaction you should get, not guaranteed obviously, but the reaction you should get is the 10-year yield going up. There's a gap above 4.53. I mean, it's the 10-year yield, so you can't use like price action on it, but you would get a move up in the 10-year, and that would end up resulting in QQQ coming down. So those 383 puts might actually be a hold. I just wouldn't want to spend a lot on them. Right now they're trading at 13, which is the original price we got them, funny enough. And now they're back up to 8. Wait a minute, that's not right. No, the 387 calls are going for 12 or 13. The 383 puts, on the other hand, are going for 20. So people might be already loading into put positions an assumption that you're going to get that higher reading right now. And you are still getting some downward momentum right now on the 5-minute and I think the 15. Yeah, both of these are bearish right now. Could be a momentum switch with the report, but my assumption is you get an acceleration. Just based on what we saw with the last GDP reading would make sense to me. So we'll try to snag 2 of these at 15. That's what I want. Whether we'll actually get that or not is a question. Right now they're trading between 16 and 18. Doesn't look like I'm going to get these any cheaper than 16 though. Or 17, I should say. This price action is gaining some steam. All right, we should get them at 16 now. Yep. Bought 2 QQQ 3D3 puts. Oh, we got 10 minutes till the report's out. I mean, if these run up to 30 cents a piece, I'll exit. Pre-release, but here we go. 10 minutes till the report's out. We're gaining some difference between the 9 moving average. Distance, I should say, not difference. Five minutes looking bearish too. So we'll see if this report accelerates that trend to the downside. You do have these bottoms taking at 384.30 up to 384.40. So there's some decent support in that range. Actually, I would say pretty strong support in that range considering the wicks and closes on these candles. Thinkorswim by Charles Schwab now. Previously TD Ameritrade. Alright, looks like we're getting a pump right into the report. Back to 385 again. So it would have been better to buy these at 13 or 14 versus 16. But not too big of a difference since we only bought 2. Alright, 7 minutes till report. I'm gonna let that report simmer for a good 10-15 minutes. Meta's back over 333. That one's kind of back and forth this morning too. Similar to how QQQ is trading, it seems. A little bit more action to the upside. Checking back in on take two. Back and forth. I really thought take two would get some direction today, but doesn't look like it so far this morning, at least. Housing report, I think that was this morning. What was it at 8:30? If I remember right. Yeah, housing starts. Coming in hot, 1.37 million versus 1.345. Up 1.9% for the month of October. Building permits up 1.1% versus negative 4.5%. Housing is very volatile. But yeah, that's the housing data for today. Already out. But let's watch how Qs in the 10-year react to this upcoming report. 4 minutes now. Are back to break even for our 383 puts. So QQQ back under 385. There is support right now at 384.75. So do be aware of that. Yeah, so I started working at a local private equity firm a couple of weeks ago. Haven't gotten paid yet, but started that job recently. I like to say that I'm volunteering for private equity because I haven't talked about pay with my boss yet. But yeah, we're stuck right at 385. Right before the report. This is exactly what I called for. And this is exactly what I got. So let's see if we get an outsides move. We'll keep an eye on the 10-year TNX on the bottom left here and how that reacts, because that will dictate how the markets move. One minute, 30 seconds till the report. Let's go. Just a little over 385 to start. Ten-year at 4457. All right, here we go. Report should be out. No major change yet. $3.85 still. Gonna get crushed on IV if this sticks at $3.85. 2.2% expectations. Reality is not out yet. Reality is that the government works too slow. Yeah, I'm gonna give it like 15 minutes. I'm not seeing any reports yet, though. No headlines, at least. And check it on the investing.com website. It doesn't show the data yet. Long Tesla 235. I mean, Tesla's already had a decent jump, but yeah, it's at 236 now. Yeah, 0-day might be a decent idea. I would probably want to go in the money with that, though. Just because of this chop action, I wouldn't want to be out of the money. At 235 is going for 200. I would probably want to cut my losses at 234.60, which would actually put that out of the money. Let's see, 234.60. Looks like QQQ is still trading at 385. So no move on this yet. And still no report. All right, now we're getting a little bit of a change. SPY. Let's check it. U.S. Commerce Secretary says that protecting national security is non-negotiable and meeting with Chinese counterparty. SPY's dropping. 10 years rising, so looks like you might have gotten a hotter than expected read. If it's actually out. From what I've seen, I don't see the data yet. If anybody else has the reading for the GDP now, send it in the chat, but I don't see it on investing.com. GDP now. Oh, there it is. GDP now estimates 2% growth. So it actually came in lower than expectations, but the 10 years still a little bit higher than where it started. Last estimate is 2%. Expectations again was 2.2, so that would actually possibly be positive for the market. It also does entail slower growth than expected, so. It's 3 to 3 puts are going for 12. I think I'll cut my losses there. It's been 5 minutes since the report's out. We're only taking a $10 loss here, so that's not too shabby. Back under 385 again. They're trading for 13. Yeah, I think cutting the loss at 12 or 13 is probably best. Back to 11 though. Sink in there. 13. Alright, I'm out. For a small $6 loss. Looks like AMD might be rallying. 120.6, still hanging up. Tesla at 235.5. We got a decent bull flag set up here, consolidating in this range. I wonder if we go with a 232.5 call, how much you're paying on it. 350. Okay. Right now. And you would want to cut your loss at 2 for this trade. Right where this is. 234.65. I would just call it 234.50. They're already going for 390 though. Too hot. Tesla's been a sleeper the last few trading days compared to the rest of the market, so I could see a decent recovery happening there. I just wouldn't want to pay $400 on these. You're assuming 236.50, which is another 75 cents. Certainly possible. I just don't want to take on a $200 loss, potentially. I'm fine with anything like 150 or under. All right, here we go. Amazon's pulling back with this action too. QQQ still at 385. All right, I'm either gonna have to pay 355 or 360 if I want this entry. Fill there, 355. Could have got it for 350. Stop loss down at 2. Oh, I got it at 345. Wow. That was lucky of me. I don't know how I got that fill. $346. That was a very lucky fill. Tesla right now, 0.85%. Let's see. 350 plus 232.5 would put these at 236. All right. Yeah. But yeah. That'll be the last trade today, and I will catch y'all Monday at 9:30. See you, everybody. Have a good day.